Howdy, friends. It's Kathy from Rust Paper Scissors. I'm here to flip through a new junk journal that I have for sale in my Etsy shop. I had envisioned this book or journal to be maybe a quotes journal, or maybe you like different types of literature, or maybe you write about books that you've read, or maybe you just want a journal. It is a blank canvas, like most all my journals are. This one is the most blank that I've ever made. It has very little adornment. I did add some quotes to it, and I have a little booklet that I was going to include, and then some tags, and then some extra pages, and I'll go through that at the end. Um, when I found this book, um, it was kind of like a Reader's Digest book. I don't know if you can see the title, but the title is Tom Sawyer. And then this one, it says Samuel Clemens rather than Mark Twain. And I was surprised because I know he wrote under the pseudonym of Mark Twain. Uh, it is just a book, it's an art type edition, so I really don't know what that was. It's probably from the early 1900s. Um, but when I found the book, I love Mark Twain, and I love a lot of his quotes. And so, in fact, my favorite quote, and I'll share it, but I also have it in the book. My very favorite Mark Twain quote, or my very favorite quote in general, is never argue with stupid people. They will drag you down to their level and then beat you with experience. And I love that quote. So I took the book, and let's see what it measures. I'm not real sure. Um, it measures about 7 and 3/4 by 5 1/4, and I covered it with sticky backed velvet. I added some lace trim. I added this doily that I made it, and then I added a brooch that I got off of a necklace. I added the little book plate that says quotes. You could take the word quotes out and put what you wanted to call it or whatever. But I just thought of quotes with the Samuel Clemens or the Mark Twain. I just wanted to do kind of a quote journal. The pages are stained with walnut ink stain. It's a pH neutral stain, so hopefully the pages wouldn't affect like photographs and that type of thing. They wouldn't do that. So I have that. And again, it's very blank. If you wanted to do maybe song lyrics instead of quotes, if you wanted to do movies or whatever you wanted to journal about, I wanted to include it. It has 2 signatures. I added some I guess I call it journal jewelry. It's little crystals from the chandelier. My signature closure is the bulldog clip closure, and I added that, and it's very easy to use, and then you just put it off to the side and it stays. Like I say, it's a very neutral journal, and so let's see if we can go inside. Inside, again, I covered the whole book with a sticky backed velvet. I added a library card holder, and then just a library card. I added this trim. I found this trim at Hobby Lobby. I put some lace down the center here. Again, on the signatures, I used pages from the book just to give it a little bit of that literary feel. So this one says The Adventures of Tom Sawyer. And then on the inside, I used the preface on the book, and it's just what Tom Sawyer says about the characters in the book. And this is just some tea stain or walnut stained tracing paper. And then this is the first set of quotes, and these are quotes that I have from Mark Twain. This is it's called a banker's clasp. Some people call it a poor man's money clip, but I rust these and sell them in my shop, so I added that there. And then these are the Mark Twain quotes that I love. And again, the first one is never argue with stupid people. They'll drag you down to their level and then beat you with experience. And then on the back of these quotes, tags, I added some paper from the book. And then a couple of other Mark Twain quotes were, I was gratified to be able to answer promptly. I said, I don't know. So I love that quote. And then never put off till tomorrow what you can do the day after tomorrow. So again, that's a favorite. And then wrinkles should merely indicate where smiles have been, Mark Twain. So I liked those. So I included those. And then, like I say, the pages are very similar. This is a retro map. This one happens to be of Austin, Texas, but I just included that. It's probably from the circa, 1970s, 60s, 70s. I was thinking about this when I added this page to the book. Kids today don't have any idea what it's like to fold a map. And I remember we used to, you just have to fold it back just perfect so it would fit back in the glove compartment box. I don't even think they know how to use a map, much less the legend and all that type of stuff. So I just really was kind of tickled when I put this page in there. It just made me think of how things have changed. And then this is just some stained ledger paper. I like to add a little something to the edge of a pull-out spot just to strengthen that. So I added it on a lot of the pages. Then this is just a piece of parchment typing paper. It's a little bit thicker than typing paper, I think, but not really. I folded it up so there's a little tuck spot there. Then this is a piece of graphed paper. I strengthened the edge. This is some lace from my wedding dress. So this is from like the 1980s. And then, like I say, it just pulls out and does that. And then this is just some more tracing paper, some writing paper, copy paper. This is dictionary paper. And then on this one, I added a little crocheted doily, I guess, that I made, and added that to the pull out. And then this is folded up so it could be a tuck spot. This is some ledger paper from the early 1900s. And then I just folded it up, made a tuck spot. The center of the signature is a glassine envelope, and I just left it plain. Again, this is all for you to, make your own. But I like to add an envelope there. It covers up the strings. And this is the back of that ledger paper. And then this is one little embellishment that I did make that is in the journal. There's another one in the other signature. But I like to print sometimes the digital fussy cuts or images out on, I like to print on, it's called clear label paper, I guess, and I get it at Avery, and then you can kind of see through it, but it really, I like it a lot, and so I like the colors to go with these blues and creams, so that's just one little decoration that I did do. And then again on the inside here, these pages, it's a tuck spot. And then this is just the typing paper, the writing paper, our tracing paper. This is just some graphed paper. And then I wanted to add some of my rusted elements because there was not a lot going on in this journal. So I added several just rusted things on the edge that you could use to embellish the journal. But this is just a little mini bulldog clip that I sell. I added some rhinestone to it. And then again, it's just a pull-out spot. And then this is more of that parchment paper. This is the other side of the ledger paper. And on this one, I just added some lace. And then this is the map. And then this is the paper. And then another signature item in my journals is I normally add a block of pages that people can use to write on, or just whatever, however you want to use them. They're attached with a metal prong fastener. I sell these in my shop. The beauty of this is if you didn't like these pages, you could take them out, add some pages of your own, or if you didn't like them at all, you could take them out, or if you just needed to add more pages. It's just a way for you to really utilize the book. This is a ribbon crimp, and I added some little rhinestones to it, and then that's what holds my journal jewelry, the little chandelier crystals. So I like that. And the ribbon crimps are a quick, easy way to add some embellishment to the side of your journals. And this is just a granny square triangle that I crocheted, and I make it into a tuck spot. Then this is the second signature. Again, this is the contents from the book. And then this is the first page of the chapter 1. So I added that. And then this is, again, just some tracing paper. Again, an alligator clip that I added a rhinestone to, that you could add your embellishments to. This is the some more of the map paper. This is the ledger paper. And again, I added some lace on the pull-out part to strengthen it. This is just the parchment paper. This is some graphed paper, and on the edge I add a little washi tape. And then this is just some fine. This is the dictionary paper. And on this one I added the same trim that's in the front of the book. I added it on the edge here. I just love that trim. I don't know why, but I think it is so beautiful. And then again, you have the tuck spots there. And then our ledger paper, the center of our second signature, which is a little glassine envelope. And then here's the back page. This is the other image that I printed onto some label paper, the clear label paper. And I thought it went so well. The colors, the creams and the blues just went together. So I liked to add that. And then this is just paper. Here's another. This is called a duck alligator clip. And then again, for you to add something, this is just another pull out. The parchment paper. This is on this piece of ledger paper. I added the lace, but I made it a tuck spot or a belly band, and I added the ribbon crimps just to give it some definition. So that, and then here's the back of the map paper, and then here's our writing paper, tracing paper, and again here is the extra pages. And I don't think I said earlier, but I meant to say, normally I just add blank sheets of paper to when I put this in my journal, but this time I added some of the same pages that I used in the journal, just to make it cohesive. And then this is the back, and it's just a tuck spot, and then this is our closure. So that's the journal. And then when I was thinking about maybe you could, like I say, here I added the word quotes, but you could take that out and make it anything. But I was thinking about maybe song lyrics or different things. I just didn't know what people might write about. And I thought about blue suede shoes, and then I thought about she wore blue velvet. And so I just made this little blue velvet book, and it just has some little rhinestones there. It has the D-ring fasteners. I like to use those. It's a quick, easy way to fasten things. And then I just added some ribbon. And then it's just a little book for you to write in or add pictures, whatever you wanted. So that goes with the journal. And then this is some of the other quotes that I wanted to include. I like to keep them separate because, you may want this journal for something else, and you might want to use these quotes in a different way. So these are just some of my favorites, and I wanted to include them. Um, this is my favorite adage. It says, I married you for better or worse, but not for lunch. So I tell my husband that all the time. And then this one is, oh, it, this quote, I don't know who said, I think it's anonymous, but I had a friend who used to say this and I always loved it. And she always say, if it's not one thing, it's your mother. And so I added that. If it's not one thing, it's your mother. And I love my mom, but sometimes. Then this was just a Robert Lee Frost quote. It says, a diplomat is a man who always remembers a woman's birthday, but never remembers her age. And then Satchel Paige, how old would you be if you didn't know how old you was? So I like that one. And then this is John Wayne. It says, courage is being scared to death, but saddling up anyway. And I love that. And then this is a George S. Patton quote that I really like. It says, never tell people how to do things. Tell them what to do, and they will surprise you with their ingenuity. And then happiness is having a large, loving family in another city. That's George Burns. And then you only live once, but if you do it right, once is enough. And that was Mae West. So those were just some of my favorite quotes that I added. And then I added a couple of quotes for the holidays. This is a Halloween quote, and it says, Halloween was confusing. All my life, my parents said, never take candy from strangers. And then they dressed me up and said, go beg for it. I didn't know what to do. I'd knock on the door and go, trick or treat. No, thank you. And that's by somebody called Rita Rudner. So I don't know, but I thought that was perfect for Halloween. And then this is Thanksgiving. It's an Irma Bombeck quote where she says, Thanksgiving dinners take 18 hours to prepare. They are consumed in 12 minutes. Half times take 12 minutes. This is not a coincidence. And then again, these are blank if you wanted to use them or some way you can embellish them for your journal. Cover it up and you've got a tag, just a tag. And then this one says, this is a quote from my favorite book, which is Little Women. And the very first line is Christmas won't be Christmas without any presents. And that was Jo March or Louisa May Alcott. And then growing up, my mom was very competitive. We were a competitive household. And so on the back of this, I added this quote about competition. And it talks about winning. It doesn't matter whether you win or lose, it's how you play the game. About losing, it doesn't matter whether you win or lose, it's how you play the game. And then about playing, play to win. And that was my mom in a nutshell. She never lost. She always won low. So she was a character. I was blessed to be able to call her mom. And so that's that. And in fact, I mentioned this before, but um, my kids, when they were little, when we would play games, sometimes they would be upset because they hadn't won. And, mother would say, you won low. But what I started doing was I would take the box lid of a game and I would write the date and who played and who won. And then that way, when they said, I never win, you could look back and say, well, last October we played and you won. So that's a little bit about competition. And then the last thing that's included in the journal is just some blank pages. I added some blank tea stain tags. I added a couple that I had stamped on a little ampersand, the number 1, and then create. And I wanted to include those. And then these are just different pages that are in the journal. And some of the book pages. And then this is just some of the ledger paper, some graphed paper. And I do this in case you wanted to make your own tags and you wanted them to be cohesive with the pages in the book. So this is, again, some more of that map paper from Austin. And then this is just some stained manuscript paper, and then this is a couple of pages of dictionary paper. So that's included in the journal. So that is the journal. I would appreciate your comments, and if you have any questions, please message me. And I do look at the comments, and if you like the video, I'd appreciate it if you hit the like button. It will be for sale on my Etsy shop. I think I'm just going to call it a vintage quote journal. And I appreciate your time, and thank you very much.